Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another segment of Books Today. Today's talk is brought to you by Subway, Eat Fresh. But going back to the talk, we're going to talk about a well known novel, The Catcher in the Rye, by J.D. Salinger. And this book was published in 1951, and at the time was really misunderstood, for it was the first of its kind, and nobody really understood it. But what we're going to talk about is one of the recurring themes, which is loneliness. And to help me with that, we have a special guest here today, Bob the Builder.
Oh, very glad to be here, man.
Thank you for coming here, Bob the Builder. So, reading this book, what was going through your mind on the topic of loneliness?
Well, I'm a very optimistic person, yes. But as soon as I started reading a story, I could find out that I can really relate to Holden Caulfield.
Holden Caulfield is the main protagonist, right?
Yes, correct. He suffers from depression, and I started noticing that I can really relate to some of the actions that he does. At first, I couldn't, but then slowly and gradually, I started realizing little things that Holden Caulfield would do that I would do sometimes myself.
So, going on the topic of depression, what were some of the things that would help him numb the pain?
He would drink, smoke. He tried to act like an adult and act like all of his problems did not exist. He even contracted a hooker, basically.
Yeah.
And he tried to numb the pain with these things, which is not the correct way to go about your depression. You need to be with your family. You need to have people around you in order for this to be gone.
Okay. So, why doesn't Holden do that?
I think he doesn't realize it yet. And he doesn't realize ways that he can help himself through this ordeal. I think he's just trying to go about his life sad and depressed because he doesn't really care.
All right. Well, as the thank you for that, by the way. As a relating thing, as for today, for loneliness, we have the song "Hello, Darkness, My Old Friend."
Oh, darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping.
So that was a song, and that's going to be the end of today's subject. Thank you for listening in to another Today's Talk, and with our special guest, Bob the Builder.
Thank you for having me.
We'll tune in next week for another well-known book. We're going to talk about The Three Little Pigs and The Big Bad Wolf. Thank you for listening, and good night.